3:30 to go to the bathroom and go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, you know, when we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And so, and Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this, I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it, because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore? I mean, you did it when you were in school, you did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Sonia, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could like live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
5, 3.
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw. Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Hello again, everybody. We welcome you to downtown Morgantown Metro News Radio and Television Network Studios. It is the 15th day of March, 2026. It's Selection Sunday. Travis Jones along with Coach Greg Hunter. And already we have one side of the East Region brackets unveiled. So they got right on it on CBS with the bracket releasing. So we'll run you through those here, get you caught up, and then do the rest of them live when they get back from break. I'll give you the full field rundown. Of course, West Virginia will not be involved in the NCAA tournament this year, unlike last year when we sat here and waited and got disappointed. We know that the Mountaineers are headed most likely for the crown, but still, it is, if you're a college basketball or sports fan in general, it's an exciting night because we hit the bracket.
We'll have to wait for, about 2 hours, maybe a few minutes less, to get the women's side of the NCAA tournament bracket. Of course, it was revealed that the Mountaineers were going to get the opportunity to host. That came out yesterday. But now we'll find out their exact path, whether they'll play at home Friday, Saturday. Those are the first round games. And then, so it's Friday, Sunday, Saturday, Monday in terms of those first two regional games, who exactly they play. Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan State, Ole Miss seem to be those on the seed line that could ultimately be the second round game for West Virginia. Green Bay may be the first game. At least that's one of those that's out there. But so far on the men's side, as this gets revealed real quickly, I'll go through just the Big 12 teams. As you said, East bracket has been revealed. 3 Big 12 teams so far. TCU's a 9 seed. They face 8 seed Ohio State in Greensboro. Kansas is going to be a 4 seed. They go to San Diego where they're going to play Cal Baptist. And then UCF, a 10 seed, facing 7 seed UCLA in Philadelphia. So those are the 3 Big 12 teams so far revealed. I think they're thinking there's 7 or 8 ultimately from the Big 12 that are going to get invites into this tournament. Of course, Arizona, as maybe not a huge surprise, won the automatic berth yesterday with their tournament championship. All
right, so again, to remind you, the bubble teams, Santa Clara, Miami of Ohio, SMU, and Texas, first 4 out, according to the last Joe Lunardi bracketology. Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, and South Florida. So those are the first 4 out. Again, assuming, shouldn't assume, I left the house. South Florida won their way in, so they're in.
Yeah.
They beat Wichita. All right, so that took them off the bubble and thus knocked somebody out. So that'll be curious. Be curious to see who, in fact, that is. All right, before they get back here, here's the rest of the East region. In Buffalo, Louisville, 6 seed, taking on the 11 seed USF. This is Thursday. In Buffalo, Michigan State, a 3 seed against the 14 seed North Dakota State. Friday in Philly, you mentioned UCLA and UCF. Friday in Philly, the 2 seed UConn against the 15 seed, the Purple Paladins of Furman. Also in the East region, Greensville, South Carolina, number 1 Duke against 16 seed Siena Thursday. Friday in San Diego, you've got St. John's, who won the Big East, against Northern Iowa on Friday. And also on Friday, as you mentioned, Kansas draws Cal Baptists. That's Friday in San Diego. Of course, Arizona, number 1 seed. As they're being unveiled here, we knew the number 1 seeds going in already. In the West region, also in San Diego, the Arizona Wildcats. These games will be on Friday. They will match up with, in their opening round game, against the, drum roll, LIU.
Long Island University.
Long Island University, former Mountaineer football opponent,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sharks. Also on Friday in San Diego, this is the 8-9 game. Got the Villanova Wildcats out of the Big East as an 8 seed, and they will take on Jared Calhoun's Utah State, former Mountaineer assistant coach, former head coach of the Fighting Falcons of Fairmont State, and Utah State won the Mountain West Conference Championship last night, so they draw the 9 seed, and we'll get the Wildcats of Villanova and San Diego coming up on Friday. A lot of smoke also that Jared Calhoun might be headed back east to Cincinnati in their head coaching position. Thursday, Portland, Oregon, 5 seed Wisconsin. The 12 seed is the High Point. They make great furniture there, and also they've got a pretty good basketball team. So there you go. High Point is in the NCAA tournament by way of their conference championship as the 12 seed. All right, West Region, Thursday, Portland. We've got a 4-13 matchup here, and the number 4 seed is the Arkansas Razorbacks, who just won the Southeastern Conference Championship earlier today with an 86-75 win over Vanderbilt. They draw Hawaii is the 13 seed. I wonder when the last time Hawaii was in the tournament.
That's a good question.
I'm not even sure they had a basketball team in Hawaii.
That's a good question.
All right, there's BYU, 6 seed, Portland, Oregon, as they go mild when the camera's on them. Not real excited. Not real excited. See who their matchup is, and they may be even less excited. The 11 seed is a play-in game. So there's Texas on the bubble, and they will play one of the play-in games against NC State. Well, they really stepped up those play-in games here in the last few years. It used to be, it was, all the smaller majors.
They still have a couple, but certainly there. That's a good one.
Yep. All right, 3 seed is Gonzaga. The Zags will get to stay close to home in Portland, Oregon, as Gonzaga will take on Kennesaw State, the Owls from down in Georgia, who West Virginia just played in baseball a couple weekends ago. Friday, 7 seed is the Hurricanes of Miami out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. These are in St. Louis. They'll take on the Tigers of Missouri. 7-10 matchup there in St. Louis. So Missouri, a 10 seed, they essentially get a home game, if you will. Columbia's a few hours away from St. Louis.
2, probably.
Also, kind of close to home, the Purdue Boilermakers will take on the 7 seed. They're just down the road. And they, on Friday, will get the number 10 seed, Queens College. What's interestingly enough, what was it, 15 years ago, they were Division II.
Yeah.
So
moved up. This may be the first year they're eligible for the Division I tournament. By the way, you asked about Hawaii. You asked, we'll find it out. This internet thing may catch on. Once in the last 24 years, 2016 was their previous tournament appearance. Before that, 2002.
Very good.
They've done
for
it
Hawaii.
6 times total.
And they've got Arkansas in the opening round on Thursday. All right, so far, that's the West region. So far, what we got there, Coach Hunter? One bubble-licious team has gotten in, and that's Texas, I believe.
Yeah, Texas, Missouri, also another that I think a lot of people envisioned as a bubble, maybe even UCF. I mean, those are your 10 seeds so far.
Yeah, NC State was listed also on the bubble on some bracketology. So looking for Santa Clara, Miami of Ohio. Of course, that one's, I think, the bubble team everybody's kind of interested in. Does Miami of Ohio get in when they dropped their opening game in their MAC tournament against a UMass team that had a losing record.
Yeah, Frank Martin, former
Yep.
Hugs assistant.
SMU.
Yep.
Auburn, Oklahoma, San Diego State.
Somebody will be disappointed.
Yeah,
Several
because
somebodies.
South Florida was on the bubble, and USF won their way in earlier today. So let's see what happens. Looks like we're going to break, so we're going to have to hold. Going to have to hold to get another region here.
So 5 Big 12 teams so far, and really UCF may be the only team that was a bit questionable, and they've made it in. As you said, TCU, a 9 seed, but they were thought to be relatively safely in. Now you're still looking at, Iowa State. It's just a matter of if they're a 2 or a 3. Texas Tech, 4 or 5 seed. BYU is interesting as a 6 seed, maybe a tad bit lower than I thought, though they did have a significant slide late in the regular season, so probably about right for the Cougars. I think as we look at this, moving forward. By the way, as you said, indications are West Virginia is going to play in the postseason in the Crown. The NIT announces their field tonight. The Crown announces it tomorrow afternoon. So we won't necessarily know West Virginia's men's fate until I think it's 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. That tournament doesn't even start until April
1st, I believe.
Yeah. Quarterfinal rounds 1st and 2nd. Semis the 4th. Championship the 5th.
Yeah, we'll talk with Brad coming up once the bracket's out, and he'll hopefully have a little insight on the lay of the land on how that's going to, how that all works, and what might be ahead for West Virginia coming up in the Crown, as you said, here in just a couple of weeks. Again, as Greg said, the women's bracket will be unveiled at 8 o'clock. Of course, we leave the air at 8. Joe Mercado will be at the Coliseum to take in the unveiling of the bracket along with the Mountaineer women's basketball team to find out who, in fact, they'll host. We'll give you ticket information on that coming up a little bit later on in the show as well. I know that season ticket holders, MAC donors, those type of folk have already bought up a lot of the tickets. So it's looking like it's anybody's guess, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would be disappointed if there's not 10,000 people there.
Yeah.
I would expect there to be more.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Yeah. I think 10,000 is probably the low end. Will it get to full at 14,000? That remains to be seen, but it's going to be, I think, well over 10, I would think. Of course, it's...
You got to remember also there's other fan bases trying to buy tickets here.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And who that ultimately is, we'll find out later this evening, but there will certainly be a throng of West Virginia fans who finally, in 34 years, get their prayers answered for a home opportunity for West Virginia in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, not only that, but just a lot of buzz around this team.
Yeah.
They won that Big 12 Conference Championship. I mean, every post on my Facebook feed was women's basketball.
Yeah.
It made my heart full, knowing that for years, that program has struggled to get attention.
Yep.
And now, they've gotten a lot of it. So well-deserved. All right, back from break here. We'll see what they have for us next. And let me go on record as saying this is not nearly as fun when West Virginia is not involved.
I don't know if it was fun last year, though. We've been It was
fun till about this time.
Yeah, and I have done a couple of the shows where West Virginia's bubble has burst. What was that? 80? No.
The one year at Jambi's place was the worst.
97, I think it was.
Yeah.
When West Virginia was left out, that one was heartbreaking.
Yeah, that one
we
was
were surrounded by
we were
players.
with the players, right?
Yeah. And then last year, of course, was really difficult as well.
All right, Michigan, top seed. No surprise there, as the Wolverines winning the Big Ten
Though they lost the tournament to
They
Purdue.
did. They lost to Purdue, 80-72, won the regular season championship, but still maintained that number 1 seed. All right, they will be in Buffalo, New York, and this is Thursday. They'll take on the winner of another one of the first 4 games. UMBC and Howard will match up there. Thursday in Buffalo, you've got the 8-9 game. The Georgia Bulldogs out of the Southeastern Conference will match up against the Billikens of St. Louis. So Georgia and St. Louis will match up with the right to most likely face Michigan in the second round.
Interesting. St. Louis was considered a bubble because they got knocked off in their tournament championship game. Yet, as an 8 seed, sort of seems to have gotten safely in because, I mean, we're seeing other bubble teams at 10. So the Billikens safely in as they face Georgia. And I don't know. We'll ask Brad about his upset specials. That may be one I'd keep an eye on. All right, Big Ten.
All
and
right.
Morgantown High.
What is?
Akron.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, there's my sleeper.
Yep.
So they get Texas Tech, 5-12 Friday in Tampa. So the Zips are in. And again, they'll take on the Red Raiders Friday, Tampa. Also Friday in Tampa, the 4 seed is the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And they get the 13 seed. This is the Midwest region, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. Hofstra is the 13 seed.
Quickly, Akron, of course, as I insinuated, for the leading scorer in the history of Morgantown High, and Sharon Young plays for the Akron Zips, who won the MAC for the 2nd straight year. So they're headed back to the NCAA tournament, and Morgantown High will be represented. And there'll be a few Mohegans and people from Morgantown that make their way down to Tampa for that.
All right, Midwest region, 4 seed is the Vols of Tennessee. This is in Philly on Friday. They'll take on, there you go, Miami of Ohio will be in one of the first 4 games. I guess it's not 4-6 now. Miami of Ohio and SMU will match up. So the Red Hawks
they're in.
They get in.
Skin of their teeth, though.
Yep, against SMU. Friday, 3-14 matchup in Philly. And this will be the Cavaliers of Virginia. By the way, SMU is another one of the last 4 in. So you got Miami, Ohio, and SMU, and Texas. So far, Santa Clara has not come up. So they might be Wright State, who Virginia gets, by the way, Friday in Philly. So Wright State is in, the Raiders. Friday in St. Louis is the 7th seed, the University of Kentucky Wildcats. Oh, there's Santa Clara. There's Santa Clara. All right, so who did not get in? I mean, all the bubble teams for Joe Lenardi got in. Santa Clara, Miami of Ohio, SMU, and Texas. Now, I mean, do you go to
somebody that he would not have had on the bubble?
Texas A&M is right now the last 4 buys that he has in the bubble. And they're one name that has not been called. So it could be Texas A&M. All right, Iowa State, 2 seed, Friday, St. Louis. Be a ton of Cyclone fans there.
I'll say.
They'll take on the 15th seed, who is Tennessee State in St. Louis on Friday. All right, what we got left? Just the West?
Yep. Making our way down through it.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. So we've not seen...
So NC State also has not gotten in. They were among the last 4 buys, right? Texas A&M.
Yeah, I thought they were. I think they're in a play-in game.
Are they?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think.
So, boy.
Yeah, we'll go back and look, but I'm pretty sure they were in one of the play-in games. All right, there's the Midwest region in its totality. So we've got just the West left to go. Which Big 12 team haven't we seen yet?
Maybe none. 7 have.
Yeah, I think we've seen them. All right. Have we seen
7 have been announced.
Have we seen Houston?
Oh, yeah.
Haven't seen Houston.
You're right. Live radio as we do this.
It's fine. I mean, this is one of the most disjointed shows we ever do. But
NC State get in. They face Texas in a playing game, but Texas A&M is the one not in.
Yep. So, we knew. I mean, USF beat somebody, so that was or won, so that was knocking somebody out. We just didn't know who. I didn't expect it to be a team from the mighty Southeastern Conference, but maybe that is the case. I mean, I'm sure that made the Miami of Ohio people very nervous when that happened earlier today. Sure. Texas A&M. Wow. I mean, if they don't get in, 11-7 in the league, 21-11 overall.
I mean, there's still a whole region left. So,
I mean, it's going to be somebody that was pretty high up the. At this point.
Yeah. So again, from the Lenardi's list, I think he still got everybody. The last 4 buys and the last 4 in. Texas A&M is the only school among those that he had in that is currently not been bracketed.
Yep.
Those that he had his first 4 out, none of those have shown up yet. Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, New Mexico.
All right, let's take a break. While they're in break, we'll be right back, and we'll have the West region and have the field complete when we return.
The WVU Medicine Medical and Surgical Weight Loss Center offers a comprehensive surgical program to help you obtain a healthy weight and improve your quality of life. Our nationally recognized bariatrics program has a strong focus on pre-surgery education and long-term weight loss after surgery. We're here to help you every step of the way. Reserve your spot at the next free no-obligation information session by calling 304-293-1728.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
It all comes down to this in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Boys High School Basketball State Championships presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 21st. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment. Live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
All right, here we go. South region. Top seed is Florida. 16 seed, Prairie View, A&M, Lehigh. So they'll play one of the early games. Friday in Tampa, 8-9 game is Clemson and Iowa. So that's the 8-9 game. Thursday in Oklahoma City, got the Commodores of Vanderbilt as a number 5 seed. And they will take on the number 12 seed, McNeese, no longer State, just McNeese now.
Interesting.
Cowboys.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. The Cowboys. All right, so that's in Oklahoma City. Thursday, 4-13 game is the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. So Nebraska gets a 4 seed. And their matchup with the 13 seed is going to be against the Trojans of Troy as the 13 seed. All right, so South, half of the South region. We must have already had the West.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
That was early.
This is it. Greenville, South Carolina, 6-11 game. Tar Heels of North Carolina. So
Duke.
North Carolina and Duke both in Greenville.
Yeah, they get to take Ubers to the game.
Yep. 11 seed. Meanwhile, St. John's clear across the country.
Yeah.
VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, the 11 seed. So we got 3 more matchups to go. 2 Greenvilles and one Greenville and one Oklahoma, or 2 Oklahoma cities.
So Houston likely in one of those Oklahoma cities.
Okay. 3 seed on Thursday in Greenville, South Carolina. Illinois. Just remember, if you're going to these games, don't make the same mistake that Woody O'Hara once made and go to Greenville, South Carolina when you're supposed to be in Greenville, North Carolina. Penn, the Quakers, winners of the Ivy League, 14th seed on Thursday.
So here's the final 4 teams into the field.
Yep. Oklahoma City. So we know Houston's the 2. St. Mary's is the 7. 27 wins on the season. Texas A&M.
Okay.
As the 10 seed. All right, we're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do some deep investigating here because I'm out of guesses on who got bumped.
I don't think anybody. I think according to
how could everybody
Lenardi's,
get in?
huh?
He had USF out.
No, he had USF in.
Oh, only if they lost.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Houston. Thursday in Oklahoma City. Well, then Joe Lenardi, I mean, he nailed this thing.
Yeah. Last year's the only year he's not had it.
Yeah, he screwed up West Virginia. 15 seed is the Vandals of Idaho. So there you go. There's the tournament. Print your brackets. Get into your office pool and, have Mary from accounting win it. And she knows nothing about basketball. She just picked the teams based on the uniform colors. That's normally how it goes.
That's usually why I avoid these things.
Yep.
It's just humiliating.
All right. Well, let the fun begin. There's the NCAA tournament bracket, Coach Hunter.
Yeah, and we'll be joined by Brad Howe in a few minutes to break down the bracket, and in particularly the Big 12 teams, but maybe in all, and get his insight into the crown, if indeed that's West Virginia's destination for the postseason. So we'll get a little bit of all that from Brad here in just a second.
All right, sounds good. Let's take a phone call here while we wait on Bradley. Mike in Morgantown is first up on the show. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, John. How are we doing?
Good. How are you? Oh, Mike's in Morgantown.
Right.
Mike's not in Charleston.
He's here for the selection, I'll bet, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Watch party. Correct. Yeah, I'm kind of excited, but I tell you, you've nailed it when you said. Obviously, I was very happy for the women in general, women's basketball, especially WVU. I mean, I was out in Kansas City and had a great time there, and they played exceptionally well. And as we talked about at the beginning of the season, they was won by committee. I mean, you had your outstanding Harrison and Shaw, but Cook played well, and Wheeler played well, and Magaleski contributed some also, and McRae. Just a fantastic effort for the group. I'm kind of interested if you guys would agree, maybe I looked at a couple of the brackets. Obviously, we won't know until 8 o'clock. Wouldn't surprise me to see Kentucky in our area or a Miami or Ohio team. And if that's the case, of course, like you said earlier too, I expect over 10,000 too. We got our tickets because I'm a season ticket holder, but it should be really exciting. And I think that the fans will definitely get their money's worth.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It should be a great atmosphere, and above and beyond the atmosphere, Travis, you know that for many, many years, the one thing that this program has come up short on is getting to the Sweet 16. And of course, when you always have to go through somebody else's home court, you can understand why it's been so difficult. Well, now you do have the home court advantage. Now, it's not going to be easy. Any of those teams, I mean, the first round game in its own right is difficult enough, but you're going to be the favorite. Those second round opponents, be it Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan State, whomever, all are going to be really difficult. So it helps to be at home, but that's the next step for West Virginia in terms of building the program for Mark Kellogg. I mean, I know you dealt with Mike Carey for many years, so did I, and that's always the one thing he pointed to, that they couldn't get to the Sweet 16, and that hurt him to his core.
Right. I agree. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. This is the year. I mean, this is what you build to. If you look back over time and how this all worked, it used to be that you'd have to bid to get this tournament. West Virginia discussed that. There was a time where they talked about putting in a bid, but it was dangerous to do financially, because if you didn't make the tournament,
you're still obligated.
You're still obligated to host, and then you don't sell tickets, and it's you lose a lot of money. That it happened a few years ago to Pitt. Pitt thought they were going to be good and thought they were going to have an opportunity to host and make a little run. They put in a bid, they didn't make it, and you got the half-empty Civic Arena sitting up there for the women's tournament. But Mike makes a great point. Make no mistake about it. On the men's side, I know we joke that sometimes they'll send teams to closer, and then other teams that are even a higher seed get sent far away, and there's some nudge.
Yeah.
Weirdness that goes on about that. Make no mistake about it, the women, they want to try to sell tickets.
Yeah.
So, I again, as he said, you look at anybody on that 5 line that's somewhat close, Kentucky being one, there's a good likelihood that they're going to end up being here.
Yeah, you understand. And then travel considerations as well, right? I mean, it makes life easier for all involved. So, now, I mean, most of the potential 5s that we've seen are all relatively reasonable distance. Maryland actually would be even closer. But, and then, I can, understand the difficulty of putting together the bracket, because you also trying to look further down the line and avoid rematches from the regular season, teams within the same conference. Once you get past about the third round, you can't help that. But the first 2 rounds, you do what you can to avoid those. I don't think it used to be a rule. I think they've scrapped that because some teams are having so many, or some leagues are having so many teams in. But you understand. I mean, you don't want to put Kentucky in a region where there's another SEC team or another team that they faced in the regular season.
Yep.
And then you look all across the board and do that same type of thing.
Yep. I had to guess. It's going to be Maryland or Kentucky here, because they could flip. Right now, bracketology has Maryland and Chapel Hill. They could flip-flop that. Again, I don't think Maryland and North Carolina played during the regular season, but those are 2 pretty interchangeable, and also would be good ticket sales really on the both side of that. I mean, it may make more sense ticket wise to send Maryland here and Kentucky to North Carolina.
Yeah. Either way.
Texter says, I bet they put Tennessee and Morgantown. Yeah, Tennessee's not going to sniff a 5. They're going to be an 8 most likely, or maybe even a 9.
Yeah.
How do we know that WV will host? Did the NCAA announce that early? Yes, they announced the top 16 teams in alphabetical order yesterday. And I like that they do that because it does give, the university an opportunity, kind of a little jump. Those teams that and West Virginia was one of them. I mean, they probably, are they the 15th seed or 16th seed? Well, we don't know. But we certainly knew that they felt like they were going to host, but until you saw it listed yesterday, they weren't sure. But gave them an extra day of preparation, gets the ticket office, up to speed. They were able to send out the emails to the season ticket holders and the MAC contributors, to advance, commit to tickets and get a little jump ahead on that.
Yeah. So, general public ticket sales go on sale tomorrow at 10:30. By the way.
Yep, tomorrow at 10:30. We'll give you those numbers and all that information coming up in just a bit. Another text, glad to see the Utah State is in. How ironic if Jared Calhoun goes to UC and they play us in the Hope Coliseum. I'll be happy for now if Indiana misses the tournament again. Well, you got your wish.
They're not in.
Indiana's not in. We'll see if they're in the Crown, however. We'll find that out tomorrow. Steve from Philip, hey, guys, what non-Big 12 team in the NCAA tournament is a dark horse or people are overlooking? I'd like to have one from each of you. Well, I already went on the record saying that I liked Akron as my dark horse. I also like High Point as well as a potential.
Yeah, I mean, I guess does dark horse mean win one or two games as a very low seed, or somebody who potentially could make a
that's
deep
true.
run?
That's true.
That you don't expect.
I'm just going, potential first round upset. Candidate.
I think they're both good. Both possibilities. I'm going to go with St. Louis as well, because even though they got upset in their conference tournament on a heartbreaker, I think they've been good all year. We'll have to get Brad's thoughts.
Yeah, my other one I like is Santa Clara over Kentucky.
Yeah.
In the first round.
Yeah. All very good. And, is Miami of Ohio, for all the publicity they got this year, being the last undefeated team, getting knocked off, like you said, by UMass in their conference tournament, and then having to sweat out the selection, are they good enough to get in? I mean, make noise once they get in, because obviously they're in.
Yep.
Can they win a couple games because they're in a playing game? Can they win two? I don't know about that. Their RPI numbers were really low. Our net numbers were really low.
By the way, those games: NC State, Texas, a Tuesday night in Dayton, Howard and UMBC will be after that. On Tuesday. Wednesday is SMU and Miami of Ohio, and then Lehigh will take on Prairie View A&M in Dayton. So Tuesday and Wednesday for those. Of course, the tournament itself gets underway on Thursday. Tip times always are announced a little later on tonight, but it won't be too long before those are out. All right, so there you go. Here's the official first four out. Ah, crap, I just missed it. Looked up too late. Saw Indiana on there in Oklahoma. So I did not catch the other two. I'm sure they'll be out here momentarily. All right, 45 past. We'll hook up with Brad when we return.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
All right, Sportsline continues. Appreciate one of our listeners sending in a picture of what I looked up and caught the tail end of. Last four in were NC State, Texas, SMU, and Miami of Ohio. So Miami of Ohio has USF to thank. If they would have lost earlier today, the Red Hawks would have been out of the NCAA tournament. The first four out: Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, and the DeVrieses at Indiana. First four out. Brad Howe joins us now on the show. Bradley, good evening.
Hello, guys. Good evening to you.
Well, not as fun. Not as fun. Well, last year wasn't fun, but, still not as fun, at least for a little while, until you figure out the screwing that's coming. But what your thoughts, initial thoughts of the bracket, and also obviously we'll get into some crown conversation as well.
Yeah, it hasn't been fun for a few years. Need to get this back on track here. It's interesting though if you look at that, if you look at Lenardi, and that's just one projection of the many, but you look at Lenardi, West Virginia was on that next four outline. So some of that doom and gloom that West Virginia was way out of this thing isn't necessarily accurate. I think it goes back to what we said before. You're one win away from being in this tournament, whether that's an Ohio State win, you see them come in with a pretty good seed, or it was a win over Utah or Kansas State on the road, and I think we're having a different conversation right now. But that remains. A couple things jumped out to me, guys. First of all, just as we know, just some of this stuff backs up what we already know. But the strength of the Big 12, again, guys, look at a couple of these things. Iowa State is a 5 seed in the Big 12 tournament, but is a 2 seed in the national tournament.
Yeah.
BYU, a 10 seed in the Big 12 tournament, and gets a 6. So, again, backs up what we knew all year. This is one of the best leagues, if not the best league in America to get in. So that was my first initial thought, is that was recognized. Arizona, I think, has a fairly nice path in there. If there can be a nice path in this tournament, it's so unpredictable and crazy. But I like Arizona a lot, Greg. We talked on Friday. I thought that's the best team in the Big 12. They played like it. They needed some magic there to get through, but they did just that. I think that's a really balanced Arizona team looking to go past the Sweet 16 for the first time in a number of years here.
So are they the only one that has a legitimate chance to win a national championship out of the Big 12, or do you think Houston, Iowa State, others are realistic?
Yeah, I think both of those. I think Houston and Iowa State both. I thought Iowa State played really well in that Big 12 tournament. They had some flaws during the regular season, but that's a legitimate team right there, Greg. They get by their first matchup, which you would assume a 2-15, draw Kentucky or probably an underrated Santa Clara team at the 10. Virginia looking down the road, maybe in a Sweet 16 matchup for Iowa State. That could be a real challenge. Virginia's had a great year. But, yeah, I think Iowa State's got a legitimate chance there. Might run up against Michigan at some point if the seeds hold, but I think Iowa State does. And on the other side, I think Houston does as well. As you look down their line, they may reach an Illinois team at some point, the 3 seed in their region. I think Illinois is outstanding. And then potentially a Florida is the number 1 seed again if those seeds hold all the way through. So nothing is easy in this thing. It is really a bear as you start to look at these brackets. There just really isn't anything where you go, oh yeah, that's an absolute lock. I look at Kansas' potential second round with St. John's. That's a real challenge. That's probably an underseeded St. John's team that just won the regular season and conference title in the Big East. So that's a really intriguing day 2, 4, 5 matchup if it gets to it.
So anybody from the Big 12 outside of the 3 that we talked about likely to get to the Sweet 16? You mentioned Kansas, so they'd have to lose to a lower seed, a worse seed in St. John's. But I just don't feel like the Jayhawks are playing real well. Any of those others, Texas Tech, BYU, both 5s and 6s, can they make a run to the Sweet 16, or do you think that's a long shot?
I think those teams are good enough based on how those matchups fall. There's a lot of them that could win a couple of games. I don't know that anything jumps out. I mean, TCU's playing really well here late. They come in with significant flaws, but they're drawing Ohio State, but then they have to get Duke in the second round, so that's probably too tough of a road for them. Texas Tech is interesting. They get Sharon Young and the Akron Zips in the first round of that game, and then potentially an Alabama team in the second game, and whatever they put the over-under at, take the over in Alabama, Texas Tech. But I think Texas Tech without JT Toppin, that becomes just such a difficult road for them. He was such a key and critical part. I think that changes that team significantly. So I think it really is the top 3 seeds are your best bet. And I think any of those 3, Greg, it wouldn't shock me if any of those 3 are playing on the last Monday here of the season, because I think they all have the talent and ability depending on how the breaks fall over the next couple of weeks.
Give me one Big 12 team that could be on upset alert in round 1.
Ooh, I wasn't prepared for you to ask me that.
Well, of course not. That's why I did. I mean, you could go Ohio State, I'll go
back to what we just said,
that wouldn't be an upset.
Texas Tech Akron's a potential upset there. That Akron team, I don't know if they guard well enough. Texas Tech's probably going to get some open looks, but Tech is so dependent on that 3-point shot. Now, they just haven't had many games where they don't make 11, 12, 13 threes on you, but that's certainly where variance comes in. If you're starting to look for upsets in these tournaments, it's teams that rely so heavily on the 3-pointer. They can either make deep runs, as we know, or they can come unglued shooting in some of these buildings that are maybe some difficult sight lines. So I guess I may look at that Akron. That's a 5-12, so everybody hops on those 5-12s. But Texas Tech, without JT Toppin, so dependent on the 3. If you're putting me on the spot, maybe they're the most upset worthy in this first round.
Yeah, Morgantown High Alumni Association can book the direct flight out of Clarksburg straight to Tampa to fill that one up. Hey, Brad, looking back at the Big 12 tournament semifinal day, Arizona and Iowa State, I thought was about as good a basketball game as I've ever seen. Am I way off? Just prisoner of the moment?
No, I agree with you. That was a lot of fun, and that was 2 teams that were locked and engaged and ready to go. And we talked on Friday, Sportsline, Greg, about it, just how that crowd was going to be with that Iowa State contingent that is there, which is always the best crowd at that Big 12 tournament. And then when that team plays, when Iowa State gets it going and plays, they're really talented and right there. But again, at the end, Arizona with just one more shot, the player of the year, and Jaden Bradley comes through. And I've said I like this Arizona team a lot. I think it's one of those, they have so many guys that can beat you. And so you know about Burries, you know about Bradley. Karchenkov can get in there and get you double figures. And then Krivas, the big guy in the middle. And then, oh, by the way, Koa Pete, that's going to be a top 10 NBA pick, rounds out that first 5. So I like them a lot. But, yeah, I'm with you, Greg. That was as good a game as you're going to see. That was a Final Four level game.
Yeah, national championship level game. Okay, let's jump into the Mountaineers. All indications are that they're going to get a opportunity to play in the Crown. Can you confirm or dispute that? And what do you think of that opportunity for Ross Hodges' club?
I think it'd be great. Now, you know me, guys. I just want more basketball. So if there's more basketball to be played, so be it. That's really good. And we've said many times before, some of our best memories are when you go through an NIT and have some success, and that year when winning it with John Beeline, or that game at NC State back at Old Reynolds Coliseum was a blast. So I think there's still some fun to be had if you can go out there and string together a couple wins. And if that comes to fruition, then I give these guys a lot of credit, too, for wanting to put that jersey on one more time and play for West Virginia at least one more game. Maybe it's up to 3 more games. So I'm all for that. And then obviously there'll be a financial impact on that potentially if you could go win the thing, a chance to make some money. So I'm all for that. Listen, it's not going to be possible every year. Last year it just wasn't feasible given the nature of the screw job by the NCAA tournament committee. I think the Big 12 realized last year we're not going to have this team go play in a tournament. But the Crown would be the one. I mean, the Big 12 is contractually obligated to send its top 2 teams after the NCAA selection is done. It's obligated to send its next 2 highest-ranked teams in the net to that event. So there's some of that as well, that it's part of the thing, part of the deal that the league has agreed upon. So you have a duty to do so. And I think in this particular case, if you're West Virginia, I'm all for it. I'd like to see these guys play again. So if that actually comes to fruition here in a little bit, so be it. I'm in.
And we said before, I mean, the only drawback to this thing, and I understand why they do it, because Fox wants as many eyeballs as possible, and they're waiting a little while for the first few rounds of the NCAA tournament to get over. But the only negative I've got with the Crown is it's so long, feels so long before they play in Las Vegas, April 1st and 2nd. So it feels like you're going to be sitting around forever. You mentioned it the other day. It feels like a bowl game type situation.
Yeah, it's an odd break. I know why they do it for TV reasons. The thing's owned by Fox, so they're going to match it up with the best TV thing. I think if you're trying to spin it the other way, and I agree with you, Greg, it does feel a little bit weird that it's 3 weeks from now, so totally on board with your thoughts there. I think the one thing, if you're going to spin it back the other way, it does give you a chance to give your guys a little break here. And that was a really long physical season with some guys that are dinged and banged up, Tracy Eaglestaff chief among them. With battling through a toe injury that he had to play through in the first round of the Big 12 tournament. I'm not even sure he was going to be able to go in the second game had West Virginia won. So you get a guy like that some rest, you get the other guys, turn them loose for a little bit, let them relax, and then you bring them back together and regroup. And so if from a rest standpoint or a healing standpoint, maybe it's good. Maybe it gives them a chance to recharge after the disappointment of losing in the Big 12 tournament, and they come back rejuvenated, understanding then that it's do or die and it's their last time putting those uniforms on. So we'll see ultimately how the result turns out and how the demeanor is. But I also think I could build a case for why maybe it's actually a good thing that you get some time off here.
So
Here's the other thing, guys. Is because, you can go in and apparently get G League guys now and overseas pros and insert them whenever you want. I would like to make a motion, or we should just go ahead and do it. Forget what the NCAA says, everybody else does. Go pick up Miles Sadler. He's already out in that area. Just pick him up, bring him in to play in that game because, guys, I don't know if you got a chance to watch him this weekend.
I did.
My man is a dude. He was on the floor with 9 other Division I prospects, and there wasn't anybody that could stay in front of him. It was the Miles Sadler show and TV broadcast. It might as well have been a documentary for him. They must have said his name 4 million times this weekend, and, man, was he fun to watch.
Yeah, I didn't. They played again today in the championship game, right? I did not see that one. I'd watched the semifinal.
Over the number 1 team in the country. He had 24 points, like 6 assists, and again, just dominated the game. At the end of the first quarter, they were down big. He finally just said, all right, that's enough of that. I'm going to take this over. Put up 3 threes, 9 points in that first quarter, brought them back for the lead, and they hung on and won the game. Never in doubt the rest of the way.
You're right. Just suit him up. Let's go. Might as well. I mean, online classes, everything else you do. I mean, you can get him enrolled. So
there's no rules.
No.
NCAA doesn't say anything to anybody anymore. Just go pick him up. Put him in the lineup. Let's play. Fox, you want some ratings? Fine. We're putting Sadler in the lineup. Here we go.
Sounds good. All right, we'll find out tomorrow. Just a warning to folks also. Some of these games are late our time, 8 o'clock, 10:30. So
Oh, geez, it's like the Guaranteed Rate Bowl all over again.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Wednesday, April 1st, Thursday, April 2nd. Championships or semis are on the 4th. Championship is on Sunday, April the 5th at 2:30 Pacific time. So 5:30 our time on Sunday, April 5th.
Greg, quick before we let you go.
Travis, times don't affect Mountaineer fans. We're in a league with Utah and Arizona. We're used to playing late games. Not a factor.
Not a factor. Some color broadcaster may fall asleep in the middle of the broadcast, but notwithstanding. Hey, real quick, your thoughts. We got the good news yesterday that the Mountaineer women are going to get the opportunity to host. We'll find out in about an hour what exactly that path through Hope Coliseum looks like. But your thoughts about that and any of those 5 seeds that you'd rather see or not see than another? Have you looked at that bracket at all?
Yeah, just awesome. I'm not breaking new ground here. I know you guys have said it. Everybody said just awesome for that program, and not just this particular representative of the program. I'm just talking program overall. This is awesome for this sport and this group to be able to host that game. It's wonderful for fans to be able to come up. I think it's going to be an unbelievable turnout whenever the games are being played. So can't wait to see that. And then from a competitive standpoint, just a great opportunity, guys, to win too, as we know. Got a chance to be on your home court that West Virginia has been so dominant on over the last couple of years in particular, and not have to travel out to an Iowa as they did a couple of years ago, or hit the road. Or Travis, you've been part of that so many times, NCAA tournament teams that have to go on the road, and that's difficult. So I'm hopeful for this program that, one, you get over that hurdle and you get a game here for the first time since '92. I think it's just fantastic for the program. But then you quickly turn that page to what's next, and can that help you from a competitive standpoint and come out of this thing, get a couple wins, and advance on? And that's really what you're hoping for. So I think it's just tremendous for the program.
Sounds good. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate you.
Okay, see you guys.
All right, we'll see you this week. Brad will be a part of our boys' state high school basketball coverage on Metro News, which, by the way, begins this week with everything else going on. We haven't even mentioned that. The girls wrapped up yesterday. Congratulations to the 4 state champions that won titles yesterday, and the boys will begin on Tuesday morning, bright and early, 9 a.m. Full radio coverage of all the games through the week on Metro News Radio, and then the 4 championship games on the Metro News television app on Saturday for free. Baseball team also played their first Big 12 series this weekend at Baylor. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break, and we'll give you the women's basketball ticket information. All that still to come.
National championship, too, to discuss.
Yes.
In rifle.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's ho-hum.
Yeah. It just happens every year.
Absolutely. All right, break to take. We'll be right back. Sportsline continues.
Running a small business means wearing a lot of hats, and dealing with tech problems shouldn't be one of them. CityNet helps West Virginia businesses keep their technology running smoothly, from networks and computers to backup, security, and day-to-day support. Whether you don't have IT staff or you have a small team that could use extra help, CityNet can take care of the technology or work alongside your team to fill in the gaps. With proactive monitoring, fast local support, and solutions built on CityNet's fiber network, your business stays productive instead of reactive. Call us at 1-844-CityNet to get started.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline on Metro News Television.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
All right, 7:06 Sportsline continues on the Sunday nights. Travis and Greg with you till the top of the hour of 8 o'clock. That's when the women's selection show will begin on ESPN. And again, note this information. Women's basketball tickets will go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, 10 a.m. is when they go on sale to the general public.
And you can buy all session tickets, which means both days, or individual tickets.
Correct. WVUgame.com is where you can get those. You can also, I think, do it the old-fashioned way and visit the Mountaineer ticket office as well.
People still do that?
I think. Yeah, I believe. All right. Again, the university will put out complete details once the brackets unveiled, the matchups and times. The games could be Friday or the first game could be Friday or Saturday. So we'll find that out coming up here in about an hour. Okay. Again, congratulations, state champions. The Parkersburg Big Reds defeated Parkersburg South 59-53 last night. So the Big Reds are the Quad A state champs. In Class AAA, Greenbrier East wrapped up an unbeaten season with a hard-fought 57-51 victory over the Bees of East Fairmont. In AA, James Monroe defeated Williamstown 50-26, and St. Mary's won their first title in 36 years as they defeated the Titans of Gilmer County 45-35. Final score.
Congratulations to all of them.
Yep.
Some hard-fought battles down there in Charleston this
good
past
games.
week.
Good games we saw this week in the girls' tournament.
Parkersburg, which, wins the title, I'm not going to say lucky, but had to fight like crazy to get through the first round game as University took them into overtime.
Yep.
So blink of an eye can change the whole complexion of everything. So great for all of them. And now do it again on the boys' side this coming week.
So this is the 50th girls' state basketball tournament this year that we just celebrated. I was thinking back. I started on the broadcast team in 1995.
Okay.
So
you're
however many years that is, 30-some years.
32.
Yeah, so I've seen 32 of the 50 as a broadcaster. I went down there in high school in 87.
Yeah.
When Parkersburg Catholic was there. It's amazing to me how advanced girls basketball has become in this state. I mean, and you know what? Looking back over history, if you think about it, girls basketball has been the consistent one sport that this state has always produced Division I players out of. But even
starting with your Parkersburg Catholic,
from Mario and Andy Cummings, Judy Eaton through the years. But even that. To where we are now, I mean, those girls are so good, athletic, can finish, just fun to watch. So really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it.
We make, I don't want to say fun, but Sometimes I deride travel teams, but the prevalence of those among girls basketball gives those so many more opportunities to get on the court and play high-level competition from all over. So very good for them. I mean, I remember, my Morgantown High days, Mohegans won a state championship, and they actually played the tournament at West Virginia Wesleyan that year.
Yep.
So they haven't always been in Charleston. They were rebuilding Charleston, well, I'm going to call it Civic Center because that's what it was called at that point in the late 70s, early 80s. So there were a few years it was out, not only on the girls' side, but the boys played at the WVU Coliseum.
Yep. Yeah, and the speaking of the Coliseum Convention Center, if this will be your first time in it since the updates, the seats, the black seats make a world of difference just in the look. I mean, bringing the building into the modern era as opposed to the
good for them.
The colored seats, brand new court, brand new floor that they just put in.
Saw that.
That just matter of fact just arrived last Monday and got installed.
They want a glass LED one for down there.
Yeah,
I know where they can get one.
Very
discounted.
Cheap. And new LED boards. It's funny you mentioned that. I don't even know these guys that started that company, but I mean, you have to feel for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they went from the top of the world. Hey, we got this thing in the Big 12 tournament. We're going to sell 1 million of these things when people see them.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden, you're. I beg your pardon. You're doing what?
Yeah.
You're taking it out.
Yeah.
The semifinals.
Yeah. Boy, do you feel bad?
Because here's the problem. As you know now, they'll take it back and they'll work on it and they'll make it better. But who's going to trust it now?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, again, we'll get into it with Brad. Well, tomorrow's the only Sportsline, by the way, this week because the rest of the week we'll take off for the boys' tournament. But he'd mentioned before that it was heavily overblown about how slippery the court was. Wasn't nearly as bad as people were making it out on social media. It sort of caught fire, went viral, and
people hated on it. I mean, but get on X, people hate on everything.
Yeah. So I saw people slipping on regular courts yesterday all over the place and said, hey.
Ban them.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go back
Switch
to
that
the
one
rubber.
out. But anyways, you get one of those tartan services.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get text here, and then we'll get caught up on everything else coming up. Texter asked, wondering if the construction to Morgantown Airport will enhance WVU. If so, how much?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it will help. Extending the runway, doing those type of things. I'll wait until it's completely finished and see what they truly can fly in and fly out. I still don't think it'll be big enough. Not that I'm a flight expert for football planes to come in. The bigger planes that charter for football, basketball, more likely. But Clarksburg Bridgeport's an airport that's going through some major upgrades as well, and that's not that far down the road. So that one can be used.
Texter says St. Louis had a great season until they lost 4 out of their last 8, conference tournament included. Do either of you know if they lost players to injury?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Hey, guys, love listening to the show and appreciate your work. I'm curious to get your thoughts on the performance of the 3 MEC teams yesterday at the Atlantic Regional. I'm originally from West Virginia, now live a little south of Erie, so I was able to go to the games and root on our West Virginia teams. Needless to say, it didn't go well in particular. West Liberty game was interesting. Virginia Union really took it to West Liberty. They were quicker and more physical. Well, yeah, I was there for the Fairmont State game, called it on radio, and not surprised with that one. IUP was a good basketball team. Joe Lombardi, former Pitt assistant, has been there now 20 years. They played for 2 national championships, and it was a back-and-forth game. It was tied with 90 seconds to go, and Fairmont got called on a 3 seconds in a lane. About had a heart attack. I haven't seen that in a college game, and I don't know when.
Yeah,
so,
especially late.
Yeah.
In a decisive moment.
West Liberty's performance, yes, was very puzzling. They scored 46 points. I haven't gone back and looked, but that I would say they have not been held under 50 points in decades, I would guess.
We look at 80 as a low bar for them normally.
Yes, yeah. I mean, if they don't get to 80, that's news.
Mm-hmm.
but they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. 5 of 35 from 3 in that game. And
everybody goes through it.
And Virginia Union, who beat them in the regular season too, but of course it was in November. They pulled out the win. By the way, Virginia Union IUP are in overtime, 63-60. IUP leads there. And then Charleston last night, no surprise. They snuck into the tournament at 8, and Gannon's very good and very good on their home floor. Was not a great, truth be known, this was not a great year in the league in terms of teams being able to compete at the national level. I mean, it was competitive in the league, but particularly on the women's side, I thought it was down really from top to bottom, and that showed both of the women's teams that got in. Glenville and Charleston got beat in the opening round. So the MEC went 0 for 5 in opening round games in the Atlantic men's and women's regional.
Both those, men's and women's, are ones that have competed for and won national championships in the not all that distant past.
Yep. All right, Charlie and Beckley, days like today perfectly illustrate how miserably apathetic I have become as a WVU fan. The school, and more specifically the major revenue sports, offer absolutely nothing to get excited about and give fans nothing to look forward to outside of major disappointment. Congrats to Ren Baker and company for another dynamite hire that they can't even manage a bid playing in a league that got half their teams into the tournament. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think once this is all said and done, we can spend a Sunday night getting folks' opinion on this first year.
Probably 10 Sundays.
From Ross Hodge.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some good and some bad.
Yeah.
I think I do find it interesting as humans, we tend to lose sight of how we felt through the course of things. Your feelings change through the year. And what I'm meaning is you came into this season and there was so much unknown, and we were staring down what this league looked like. I mean, remember we sat here and thought, if you can win 5 league games,
that
might be a good year.
Finish 500.
But then you win some. You are good at home. You've got now all of a sudden, hey, you got a path to the NCAA tournament with this team, and then the way it ended was a nosedive. So it again, I think you got to look at the big picture, and we'll do that. And the story's not completely written. I don't know if it'll change anybody's feelings if you go out and win the crown, and I'm not sure offensively if you can.
Yeah,
I mean, this is going to be this is a tougher tournament than the NIT.
Yeah,
and you're going to play legitimate teams. So,
no, I agree with you.
I mean, we'll discuss it later.
4th coach in 4 years, completely new roster. It certainly had its challenges, and there were plenty of good moments. But they stumbled in a couple of games that if you look back on, if they could have just, beaten a Utah, they had, Kansas State on the road.
I think that's what poisons the water, right?
Yeah.
You when you lose those bad games, I think that's when it really sours your opinion.
That's difficult
on things.
So admittedly, but we'll have time for that in the future.
Texter says, just a theory, but the NCAA secretly contracts out Joe Lenardi to pick the men's brackets.
Might as well just let him do it.
Would sure look that way this year because he was 100%.
Would rather have had him do it last year than the committee that ultimately did.
Yep. Texter says, hey guys, any chance we go to the Crown tournament that Indiana also goes? We play the DeVries duo. I mean, I think it's possible that Indiana ends up there for sure.
I don't know the Big Ten and how they're stacked up in, like I said, top 2 from the Big East, Big 12, and Big 10 all go. I need to look at the net to see where
Indiana was one of the first 4 out, so they're definitely, I'd say they're, in terms of the Crown, they're number 1.
Mm-hmm.
They're number 1. Plus, I'm sure the Crown would love their fan base there.
Sure.
For sure. Greg and Lake Norman, WVU fans are looking for a Cinderella to get behind. There's plenty of room on the Queen's University Royals bandwagon. Not only are they a great story by qualifying for their first year of eligibility, but a strange twist of fate, this could be the only year that Queens will qualify, at least as the Queen Royals. Next year, I didn't know this, they'll be merging with Elon University. Everything is up in the air as to what the school name will go under and who will field what teams, from what I understand. So how about that? Little consolidation going on there. So that's interesting.
Not just the high school level that takes them out.
Yeah, interesting. Coach or text. I know that Coach Hodge got here late for recruiting, and they all had first-year players, and that made it tough. But the women's team should have been paid more than the men's team, says the texter. Guys, I will probably not be watching one play of the NCAA men's tournament after last year's snub, and of the fact that I have Dish and they no longer carry our local CBS station or Fox.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, very good. We certainly honor your stubbornness on last year's snub. A lot of the tournaments on other networks, though. So if you you get weak, Tree TV, TBS. There's a bunch of other channels the games are on. When will WVU field a softball team? Crazy in a Power 5 conference, we don't have a softball team. Thanks.
It's
been asked many times.
Never.
Yep.
I've asked
it's always the same answer.
Every AD forever and ever, and they all say cost prohibitive, should put all that money into sports that ultimately are going to turn profits. So the basketballs and football.
Good evening, guys. When did the West Virginia girls basketball season go from a fall season to a winter season? That had to be the turning point in getting West Virginia girls basketball players more recognition in terms of national attention from the D1 schools. Yeah, I mean, Doug, that was the reason. That was the main reason behind the move.
Yeah, it was early 80s, 83, 84, I remember. I didn't know, I'll admit, at the time, I was a young cub reporter, and I wrote some stories that I didn't know if it'd be a good idea because they didn't share. I mean, football was there, obviously, in the fall, but they had all the weekdays to themselves, did the girls. But, I mean, from the college side of things, and they've taken advantage. I mean, obviously, they're never going back.
Yep. Gary in Vienna says, great job to the Big Red girls. Thank you for Kyle and Meg. I'm enjoying all the local games that are on your Metro News affiliate in Parkersburg and carrying nothing quite like the tournaments. I remember sitting in the Jefferson Elementary Gymnasium after school in 6th grade and watching Mary O come in there and pick up a basketball in each hand and shoot. What a great memory. What a great girls tournament this week. My favorite sporting event of the year. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. Good Lord, people. Ross is a first-year coach. How about give him some time? Some of you fans are absolutely ridiculous and uneducated. How do some of you get up and put your pants on in the morning? I'm guessing with one leg at a time. But we'll jump into that. I do think that just my opinion. I think you got to give Ross Hodge another. And considering, I mean, we just got done talking about some of the recruits they got coming. I think we got an opportunity to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's allowed their opinion, whether it's positive or negative. But I agree. First year coach, new roster, fourth coach in 4 years. They exceeded my expectations.
Yep, for sure. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. 7:24 on the big clock. Sportsline continues in a moment.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
the health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
It all comes down to this in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Boys High School Basketball State Championships presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 21st. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment. Live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
Had a question in the last segment about when the switch was made, girls basketball from the fall to winter to coincide with the boys. Just did a quick check. That was actually the winter of '87 was the first year that the girls' season switched. So there you go. WVU men's team surpassed most expectations, picked 11th, finished 7th. It was a good hire in Wren We Trust, says the texter. All right, Mountaineer baseball team, Coach Hunter, believe it or not, I mean, it was just the other day we were saying, hey, can you believe baseball season's here already? Already into league play.
Yeah.
As they went down to Waco this weekend.
Yeah, you're right. 3 games set against the Baylor Bears. West Virginia loses the first game, somewhat, heartbreaking fashion as they had a substantial lead. And Baylor comes storming back, wins Friday's game. But then West Virginia just pounds the ball in the next 2, wins Saturday in a 10-run rule game, and then today, great performance, really with bats and on the mound. Maxiel goes 8 innings, only gives up 3 hits, no runs, strikes out 12, and then freshman David Perez comes in, and he goes 1 inning, faces 3, strikes out 3, as West Virginia wins 8-0. Overall, Mountaineers get a series victory in their first Big 12, contests of the year.
Yep, 13-4 overall now. As West Virginia, as you mentioned, Maxiel today was just incredible, untouchable.
Yeah,
for a long stretch.
Big left-hander. Yep. He's got stuff in that. Freshman David Perez, as we start going through later in the tournament, we get more and more attention for a freshman who actually came in. A lot of people think was going to be a position player, but they said, you know what, he throws it really hard. Let's give him a shot on the mound. And he'd pitched in high school, but he's come in and been dominant in his outing so far. So next game for West Virginia, back at home, Tuesday night, Nittany Lions come to Kendrick Family Ballpark. And then the first home Big 12 series of the season as BYU Thursday, Friday, Saturday for that 3-game home set. Of course, BYU doesn't play Sunday games. So if you're coming to town for the women's basketball game, you're going to have an opportunity to bop over and up the hill to the ballpark and see some baseball as well. I think the weather's going to be okay by the weekend. It's supposed to get really cold here soon, but then by the weekend better. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Joe Leonardo?
Yep, you're correct. Yeah, Joe said it would. Tuesday, if you're heading Tuesday to watch, it might be a little rough. Snow showers and high of 30. So we'll see.
That's not fun.
Yeah, that one may get bagged. We'll see. Thursday, 56, 61 on Friday, and 64 on Saturday. So should be good to go by the weekend when BYU comes to town. So that's the latest on the baseball front. Coach Hunter, I know you are a big rifle you understand the sport.
Yep.
So the Mountaineers win the Natty in rifle once again. So was this one a surprise? 21st national championship.
Yeah, 21st, and I'll give credit to our Kevin Kinder at BlueGoldNews.com because he's much more efficient and even was.
You've been to one, so that's more than I can say.
When it was at the Coliseum, Kevin has traveled, and he was in Columbus for this year's national championship, so he's got a lot of coverage at BlueGoldNews.com. But this was one that there were about 4 or 5 teams competing. West Virginia was. I think they were 4th after the first round of shooting. You do small bore and then 3 position. And West Virginia was, after the first day, was trailing. Not by a substantial amount. It was still very close. But then puts together a really strong performance in day 2, comes back and wins, as you said, 21st overall national championship in rifle. Their 2nd in a row. In a strong performance for John Hammond's club as they just keep rolling along. So Rifle does what Rifle does. And nice for them as they get the Natty in Columbus this weekend. So some real positive events between baseball and rifle, and then the women's finding out their fate this weekend. A lot of good stuff going along.
Very good. Congratulations to the rifle team. Again, 21st national title with the narrow victory over TCU, Kentucky, also close, Nebraska as well. All right, so that's the latest on that. Back to the texts we go. I believe the first girls' winter season was 97-98.
About a decade.
Why can't we get this right here?
No, it was late 80s because I remember I was still working in Preston County in my first job out of WVU when it switched, and that would have been – we started Blue and Gold News in 88.
Well, I found a Gazette Mail article that noted the 20th anniversary, and it was published on November 21st, 2017.
Man, I know it was late 80s. I couldn't tell you if it was 86, 87. You say it was 87.
Well, it looks like it was updated on, I don't know. It could have come out on 2016. But either way, it was late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Samantha and Tanner, good evening. I know the finances are always going to stand between adding softball as a varsity sport, but at the rate revenue sports are continuing to underachieve, it's increasingly absurd and quite frankly lazy to suggest all the money should be allocated to teams and programs. They simply aren't producing results, and what everybody always likes to remind us is a results-based business.
Yeah, I'll disagree. I mean, if you want to continue to underachieve, then just start, failing to provide the resources to those programs. So in today's world, it comes down to money, and you better allocate as much as you can to football and men's basketball, especially. And women's basketball is a money loser as well. So is baseball, for that matter. And softball would always be a money loser.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how good you are. National championship teams lose significant amount of money. So Again, that's, other schools find way to fund it. So I'm not going to say that it's obviously impossible, but I've talked to every AD for 35 years, and they've all had the same thing. Not going to do it. Don't want to spend the money when we need to put that money into football and basketball.
This has become quite a debate. Guys, you're all wrong. It was 1997. I know that for a fact because I officiated the first girls' state winter tournament. I mean, what are we missing here?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm trying to think back into my. Okay, so this Gazette article talks to Rick Marone, who was the head coach at the time of Tulsa High School. So he began his coach at Tulsa in 1993. And again, this article notes it's been 20 years. 20th year of winter play in the Mountain State. And according to the Slug, it was published either on February 21st, 2016, and then updated on November 21st, 2017. So that's what I got. That's what I got. I can't remember. Coach Hunter seems to remember, but I mean, I went to the tournament in the late 80s when I was in high school, but I don't know if it was in the fall or winter. I don't remember that portion of it. So anyway, the debate rages on. And somebody, again, the official, I completely, I don't argue that you remember. You certainly were there. 89-90 was the first year of girls winter basketball my senior year. So now we've got another. It doesn't match with what. Who knows? I mean, yeah. Okay.
Well, we appreciate everybody checking in.
Oh, we do. I mean, we've gotten 5 opinions and none of them match. So I mean, there's got to be somebody that remembers for sure. That was Craig and Winfield. So that might. Yeah, 80, maybe they made the call in 87, didn't move it to 80. I don't remember. Guys, you mentioned the Penn State, and it reminded me of how interesting a fact that I doubt many people in the Mountain State know. The University of Charleston has a Division I men's volleyball program. They're in a conference with schools like Penn State and Harvard. We plan to go to the Penn State matches in April. Yeah, actually, I did know that. They're quite good also.
Mm-hmm. Good for them.
Yeah, and that's not unheard of. I know Salem University has did have a men's polo team that would compete at the Division I level because Navy used to come, the T. Edward Davis Gymnasium. Okay. These people are wrong. I also officiated the fall of 88 and 90. All right, so he's saying 97. What do we got here? Something else sent to us. Now these are records. Does it say? Oh, here we go. The game points. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're getting somewhere here. You remember Christy Cooper, former Mountaineer?
Yep.
Played at Circleville. Okay. She scored 85 points in a game. Wow. I forgot that.
Yeah.
So that was September 10th, 1988. Okay. So that's fall and 88. Okay. Then she also put up 81 against East Hardy. And November 21st of 88, so later in that season. Is there anything else here that's going to help us? No. Okay. So in 88, it was still in the fall. All right. Got it. Texter says, I swear it was in the 90s, not the 80s. I've covered basketball games as a photographer since I was in high school in the 80s. Okay. We'll get back to that. We're not leaving the air tonight till we've settled this.
Well, I'm leaving. One way or the other. You got me for 20 minutes.
Mike in Preston County. Travis, is NIL available for public knowledge? I'd like to know how much was paid to men's basketball, the 68 teams that made the NCAA tournament. It's been 3 years since we made a trip to the NCAA tournament.
It is not.
It is not.
West Virginia is one of many that puts up a wall between, what is – truthfully, I think, as a journalist, I think it should be. I think that should be public record.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not. And West Virginia has argued that case often. Other schools have done the same. They think it's a competitive disadvantage to put that number out. But, you have to put out what the coach makes. I mean, if you're a public institution. So, but here to there. But no, it is not public knowledge.
All right. According to ChatGPT, West Virginia girls high school basketball was moved to the winter starting in the 95-96 season.
Well, we know
so we're
AI is never wrong.
We're going to believe that. They according to them, 1994 decision by the Supreme Court of Appeals of West Virginia is the reason it was the final word that it got moved. Court ordered the state move the girls' season beginning in the winter of 95-96. So I'm going to go with that.
I didn't think
unless
the show
somebody
would
comes
go
with,
in this direction.
Me neither.
Tonight.
Honestly, we need to bring a judge in and then a plaintiff and defendant. Is there any chance a few of the men's players returning next season, says Doug in Morgantown? Well, yeah, sure. Yeah. Some of them are going to return.
I mean, you've got 7 members of this basketball team that have eligibility to return. How many do? I don't know. I mean, again, it goes to the resources you put into it. I think it's really important to retain as many as you can, finally have some continuity. At least it looks like, as of today, you're going to have your coaches and coaches, most of your coaches, for another year. So the first time in 4 years, you're going to have the same coaching staff for 2 successive seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But, you've got DJ Thomas, Amari Jenkins, hopefully Jackson Fields is healthy and comes back. There are others, but you lose 6 that are out of eligibility. The other 7 are eligible to return. Now we'll see if they do. Some will, some won't.
Coach Hunter, you've been asked to provide an update on what you can in terms of the first week of spring football, and I will have you do that when we return. Okay. Sportsline continues in a moment.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
All right, Sportsline continues. So I'm an idiot.
No, you're not.
Yeah, article said 20 years. That was 30 years, going back to 87, and you just kind of...
I went with you.
You co-wrote. You co-signed on my idiocy. Yeah, so 95, 96. I think that's what we decided. So
I'll believe the guy who refereed more so than AI. Yep. How's that?
How in the world can Mountain East Conference universities field softball teams and WVU can't? WVU can throw away any hopes of moving up to a larger conference for sure. We enjoy your show. I mean, you're not hoping to move up to a larger conference. I mean, you're in a large conference. Yeah, how much larger can you get?
Well, I mean,
listen. I believe me. I love softball. Mm-hmm. I wish West Virginia could have a softball program. I would love that if a donor would come in and write the check. And be able to field it. We're just telling you what we're being told.
Yeah.
So
and it's D2
not that
levels,
we're arguing against it.
D2 level's a whole different world, right? I mean, because again, that's about getting kids in school, providing them opportunities they want, so they'll pay tuition.
Yeah, there's no full rides, and they're getting in buses going to games, or vans and going to games. So. All right, had a question about spring football practice, so let's just go to the source. Rich Rodriguez met with the media last week and gave everybody an update on spring football so far, so we'll listen in here for a little bit.
Just finished second practice, got another day in shorts. I thought probably a little better than the last one. Well, they should get better every day, but I thought we moved around a little bit better. And then we'll get a first day in pads on Wednesday, so I like the effort. I think we think we evaluated some of the guys on what they are, but until we get in the pads and go live, you not really know. But they're working hard, and they're getting better every day, I think.
So I understand you're not going to know anything for a while, probably until October. But you've got a lot of the young guys that you thought were really good when you recruited them. You've now gotten a chance to see Kevin Brown, Matt Sieg, some of these guys. So give me your thoughts as you see those guys.
Yeah, it is, Greg. It's early, but, I guess for the most part, they are what we thought they are, you know what I mean? In two practices. So it's just two practices we get in pads. But there's nothing to make us think what we saw in shorts is not going to translate in pads. A lot of times football coaches want to be tough and wait till we put the pads on, we'll find the real men. I told the team tonight, I like to think our practice intensity, whether we're in shorts or pads, is always at a high level, and it was today.
Those guys fit the eye test, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of guys walking around this country that fit the eye test. It's from like somebody said, like Kevin Brown, like they thought his something on social media, his legs must have been AI'd or something because nobody's got thighs like that. No, he squats half the building and he works his tail off. But a lot of them have. A lot of our weight room records, for what that's worth. There might be two of them that still are from guys from the past, but from what from as far as we've been here. But a lot of those have been broken, and a lot of them will probably keep getting broken. So they did a good job. Strength staff did a good job in the last 7 weeks or so, and that'll continue. We're still lift twice a week now.
How hard is it for a true freshman to win a job in the spring? And you ever had an offensive lineman as a true freshman do it?
I think it's easier now for a true freshman because they can come in the spring and because we can work with them in the summer a little bit, so it's not as rare, whereas most of the time the true freshmen are going to get redshirted. Now we don't recruit any freshman with the idea that you're going to get redshirted. Even the quarterbacks, which is the hardest position as a true freshman, like Scotty played last year. But so we're, we tell all those guys when we recruit them, it's not just saying it to try to get them. Everybody that's on the field's got a chance to compete and play. And this freshman class is huge, but I think it's really talented, and a lot of them are going to play. And the transfers the same way. That we got a bunch out of the transfer portal, and a lot of them have done a good job so far. Again, 2 days.
Rich, does that kind of get you excited knowing you have such a big freshman class? So you have like a couple of years to develop them.
Yeah, that was part of the plan. Is that hey, we don't want to turn over the roster as much as we've had to do in the last year and a half. So if we evaluate right and they do what we think and we have the resources to retain them, because retention is always an important thing, then we'll be able to not have to replace 40, 50 guys every year. Our hope is that we have 21 seniors, whatever we have, and we just got to replace 21 of them, and unless there's a junior going pro early. So that's kind of the thought process, and we'll continue to work that.
So from an evaluation standpoint, whenever you bring in a bunch of transfers along with your freshmen, what goes into that evaluation process whenever you're trying to mix them in with the guys that do return?
Yeah, everybody's competing. Everybody's got a shot. The transfer guys are going to be a little older, more mature. You would expect them to have a little bit of experience that they have. We try to identify guys that have had production, where they were at before, and can kind of like just learn our stuff and kind of plug and play them in a little bit. But, the competition, every coach wants real competition, not just say real competition every position. And just looking at a roster right now compared to a year ago, of course, a year ago is a year ago. I mean, we had a lot of guys that still weren't on the team this time a year ago. There was another transfer portal coming up a year ago. Now, other than the 12 guys or 13 guys that are not here yet because they're still graduating from high school, we know who our team is, and the competition is going to be really good at most of the spots.
What do you want to get accomplished before the spring break? Obviously, you got 4.
Yeah, I think another day in pads. We'll do a lot of special teams probably on our Thursday practice. There's so much to learn, and we got to make sure as coaches that we don't overload them. You got a tendency like, this is our guys. We got to get them to know what we're doing, and we have some time for that. They don't need to be ready to play a game in some from another country, and helps our guys get together, and I think it helps our student body. I think it helps our sports teams. By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to our women's basketball team. Coach Kellogg winning that was great. I got a chance to watch them, and they make you play now. They play great defense and make you bring the ball up the court, and I'm really excited. I think we're going to have we get to host now? Maybe we should. If you win the Big 12 and you're not hosting the tour, come on now, I'll get on my soapbox. You're damn right. We should be hosting, the first couple rounds right there in Hope Coliseum.
All right. Well, Rich, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
He doesn't have to go burn the place down, NCAA headquarters. He got his wish.
All right. Bracket coming out in, they'll start in about 10 minutes. We will step out here and close it out when we return.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
On the next State of Minds. I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team.
And game dates and times are set. Again, one Sportsline show this week because of the Boys State basketball tournament comes your way tomorrow night. We'll have more details, obviously, on the women's matchups, and also the Crown information will be released by 6:06 tomorrow. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you from Charleston this week for the boys tournament.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.